Yeah, I just
for
discovered.
after.
Hey,
I just
everybody. Happy Star Trek Tuesday. Can you believe it? We did it. We were talking about the olden days of YouTube. Remember when YouTube was like the Wild West, where you would
Mm.
just like watch any old junk video because it was just like a novelty? It was like, whoa, it's some new thing. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that today, unfortunately. We're going to be talking about Paramount Plus is going to San Diego Comic-Con,
Ooh.
which, if you do a little deep dive into that, suddenly you realize what the happened to San Diego Comic-Con? What's going on? There's a problem. Does San Diego Comic-Con suck now? Do people suck now? Do businesses suck? What's going on?
What?
What's the problem here? We got something to talk about, and it's legit. But Star Trek will be there, which is really cool. They'll also be at Star Trek Las Vegas, of course, and many other places. We'll talk about all that. Plus, of course, it's a week, so there is Strange New Worlds news. Man, this Strange New Worlds
Of
keeps chugging
course.
along. One of these days, we're gonna have new episodes, and we're just gonna get to eat those and not
Very
Ooh,
speculate.
they're
soon.
coming soon.
Hmm.
Very soon. I
Yes.
know.
That's
Uh,
exciting.
but it's really
Of course,
good
it's going to be
Strange
built
New
up.
Worlds news,
Hmm.
everybody, if you can believe that. Then also, a director from Strange New Worlds said something interesting or did something interesting. And
Mm.
he is a friend of the show. Okay, it's Jordan Canning.
Nice.
A friend of the Sun Tzu show, that is. The Lanthanites is a thing, apparently. Also, for you Starship nerds, hi Matt, hi Jenny.
Hi.
For you Starship
Hi.
nerds, we've got a cool timeless legacy Starship bundle. We also
Yes.
have, if you're into action figures and you're into Gorn, we have something for you. And a little bit
Yeah.
of, everything else that's Star Trek related in the world with our pal 10 Forward Zone, Melissa Longo.
Yo, what up? Hi.
Got a mechanical pencil.
Mm.
Speaking of
Wow.
the olden days, geez, this precedes the old days of YouTube. And Jenny R. Johnson.
Hello. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Um, Speaking of mechanical pencils, have you ever tried to wind a tape with a mechanical pencil?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Too
Not as
small.
easy, yeah,
Mm-mm.
Like you
as a regular
can,
pencil.
but it's
You
not. Yeah.
can, but
You might as well just
It
do it with your
sucks.
so
pinky in
much
that case.
Exactly.
Yeah.
right,
Exactly.
right.
And the Matt Boardman's here, everybody. He's lost one or two VHS tapes that couldn't be respindled.
Tragic. Tragic. There was a funeral afterward.
Tapes, you could almost always fix tapes, cassette
Hmm.
tapes.
Even if
Almost
they
always,
like got
except for if like a
scrunched.
cat got into them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And my name's Ryan T. Husk. Definitely feel like I've had more cassette tapes killed than VHS tapes actually
Agreed.
in the past.
Mm,
Hmm.
Live chat,
yeah.
let us know. Do you still own at least one VHS tape? I do.
Yes.
I have
Yeah.
many.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I just recently got rid of all my old, did I? Or maybe I still have them. My Star Trek episode
Oh,
VHS
nice.
tapes.
Hmm.
The
I,
Columbia House ones?
Not like
mhm.
1999 at the comic store or whatever. You would go
Yeah.
Okay,
there and
yeah,
they'd
yeah.
have like Next
Hmm.
Generation, in blue and Deep Space Nine and like in gray, and you'd be like, "Oh, this is a good episode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy this one 43-minute episode
Yeah.
for $20 and be happy about it and be like, yeah, I
Uh-huh.
got an episode of Star
I
Trek."
think I have Encounter at Farpoint. I only ever
Yeah, I
got the
do.
one because it was just like
Oh, nice.
it was the like freebie one. But Yeah, but because I was busy taping them all off of TV.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what I did too. Yes. I got very good. And then I was really angry when there was a football game on that
Mhm.
messed up my scheduling.
Now, let's
So
not
not
get
cool.
hasty.
Well,
No,
do you remember?
back to our already scheduled programming, and it's halfway through already.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah, and
come
then they
on,
just finish it off, and
people.
then there's like a message it'll air in its entirety at
Mhm.
another time, like some random 2
Yeah.
a.m. when nobody's up or whatever.
Yeah.
Kids today have
Cool.
no
Yeah.
idea.
The worst was before they made VCRs that could record and
Mhm.
you could watch TV elsewhere. Oh man,
Oh,
I used to
yeah.
always get
Yeah.
I'd be watching the recording, and then all of a sudden you start seeing the channels flip, and it lands on somebody else's show, and you're like, no.
Yeah.
That's
I
confusing.
remember that too.
Mhm.
I always figured that was
Yep.
too much work. So I was just like, I don't know, man.
Mhm.
Hello to Christian on B, John Davis, Chuck A. Back of the head. That's John Orchiola. Did we say Joshua Reeve? Not yet. May Borello out in the May area. Dave Gregory. Foz Rotten. What's up? Hey, Nanodi. What's up, Nanodi? Cool name, Nanodi. Herbert
Yeah.
Turner. Rookie of the Year, Red Shirt. Bob. Lucia Raz out in Brazil, probably.
Yeah.
And Dead Purple 7 out in beautiful Fresno. Or like somewhere in the
Is it beautiful?
Beautiful
Central-
Fresno.
the Central Valley of California. Hi, Cassandra. How are you? All right. Chris Marshall, what's up? Linda Anderegg. Hey. Okay. Now for real. Back to work.
Hey.
What was your prized possession VHS tape?
Ooh. Probably Robin Hood Prince of Thieves back in the day. I remember getting it. I remember like the Christmas that I got it, and it was the most exciting thing. Like there's a picture of me holding it, you know?
Oh.
Yeah.
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 Mine was probably Beauty and the Beast, the series.
Oh, nice.
Ron Perlman and Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was always
yeah.
a romantic
Which one was-
little.
Never mind.
Mhm.
Just kidding. We love both of them very
Mhm.
much. What about you, Matt? What was yours? Like the original Top Gun?
You know,
Maybe Ghostbusters.
I never had the original Top Gun on VHS because I was actually never allowed to watch that movie until, yeah, my dad was, well, I don't know why. I think it was probably
No
Does it
planes.
Take
the
my
love
breath
scene.
away. He's like,
Oh.
get that
Yes,
scene
I
out
think
of
that's
here.
exactly what it was.
Berlin, you
And-
know what you're doing. Don't
Exactly.
sing
And
that song in front of my son.
That's amazing.
It
Oh
it
my
wasn't until
gosh.
we were in a hotel, and my dad like had knocked out for a nap or whatever, and you know it's limited
4 years
channels.
ago.
Yeah.
And right, and Top Gun was on there, and my dad woke up, and he's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, this is Top Gun. It's so great." And I could just see him like, "Well, guess I can't say you can't watch it anymore." But no, I think for me it was my. Do you remember the original series movies? And they
Oh,
used to
yeah.
have that
Yes.
set that like as you put them all
The
together.
ship, yeah.
Yeah, it made the
Mhm.
ship. Yeah. So that was one
Yeah.
of my favorites.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, and I bought a bunch of those episodes at Quark's Bar, actually.
Oh, did you?
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they had
That's
them
so
those for sale
fun.
too. You know, because Quark's Bar at the Star Trek Hilton had a
Uh-huh.
few shops. You know, one
Yeah.
was like mostly like clothing, and then one was like trinkets and like VHS tapes, and
Yeah.
you know, others with like shot
So
glasses and stuff. Man, I have
cool.
so much cool swag
I love
from
that.
that. Like, I got like couple spoons, Star Trek spoon,
Mhm.
little baby sugar spoons, and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I don't know
Oh,
what my prized VHS is. What do you got, Jenny?
I just realized my prize VHS I have because I found it, and it's the original cut of Star Wars.
Oh,
Like
nuts.
before like even the THX like just the the first
before the
release when they did
special
the
edition.
sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not the special edition, but like the one, the black covers that came
Oh
out
yeah.
before that. So it's like it's got like the original poster on it.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, because I was like, I want a copy where Han shoots.
First.
Period. Not just first. Period.
Yeah, periods.
Oh yeah.
Period.
The only black
McClunky for
cover I
you.
know about is when Superman died in the comics
Oh,
way back
yeah.
in the day, and they had like a black cover.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
They're like,
Ooh.
The ones-
Superman dies. This is the big one. Everybody go
Mm.
buy it. And I did.
The first
I loved that.
VHS re-release of Star Wars that was like the 3-pack, and it had like Vader and the Stormtrooper and something. And it was like it was just like the sound was better. It was just the T8 like it was just the what do you call it, Matt?
Mastered.
That's it.
Yeah.
Dead Purple 7 gave us a super chat.
Thanks, Dead Purple 7. And she says, hey, y'all, I'm listening in today. Yes, I'm an old lady with a VHS player and all my VHS cassettes, and my B-Day just passed.
Oh,
You guys.
Happy birthday.
happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
I'm going to tell you guys something in the chat here that's going to upset you. I think that maybe
Doesn't
my
seem very nice.
top VHS thing was probably just like the movie First Contact or something, you know what I mean? Or it had to be Star Trek related.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters was really good too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that one. Otherwise, it would be my top. I don't have those. Otherwise,
I
Mhm.
remember
Right,
being
so-
such a snob with letterbox versus full screen. And
Even
being
with the
like,
VHS?
Yes.
with the VHS, I was like, I did
That's-
not like
yeah.
letterbox because it made
No, it felt
like it was,
small.
yeah, it felt small. So I'd be like, I'll never do a letterbox.
Ruthless, right? Yeah. Anyway, I just outed you, Dead Purple 7. Don't you dare call yourself an old lady to us.
Haha.
But did you know, speaking of Top Gun, when I was a wee one, I was in love with Tom Cruise. Like, legit in love with Tom Cruise. So I
Oh.
watched everything that I could get my hands off with Tom Cruise in it, especially Top Gun,
Oh
and
my God.
especially Take My Breath Away scenes.
All right.
It's like, oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Enough.
Wow.
Enough,
Mhm.
you guys.
Mm-hmm.
The screen's getting steamy.
I hear that. Mhm. For me, it was Mel
Let's-
Gibson, but yeah.
Let's talk about Star Trek.
Okay.
That's
Well,
kind of
I want to
Yeah.
keep talking about this, but I just feel bad that I
No,
feel like
that's
the
completely
fans
fair.
at some point are gonna be like,
That's totally fair.
we've been more than patient, you guys. We hope you've enjoyed your trip down memory lane. But at some point, we're gonna get tired of entertaining ourselves, and you're gonna have to do something.
But even people like Letterman have a warm up for the show. So
That's
this is
That's what I was thinking.
True.
warm
I
up
thought the same thing, and I
of the
feel like
show.
that time's been covered. Live chat.
Okay.
Let us know, live chat, who was your big crush when you were a kid?
Mm-hmm.
Who was your big crush when you were a kid?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's something from. Oh, this
Ooh.
is interesting. This is a
Uh,
website.
Mhm.
I like
A
this one.
website, you say?
Let me see. Did I get that? Oh yeah. Okay. So anyway, the point is, let me pull that back up. This is cool because I got really excited because I was like, wait a minute, this is almost like our favorite website because this too has no
No
pop-ups.
pop-ups.
No pop-ups?
This is from
Yeah.
ParamountPressExpress.com.
Whoa.
Yeah.
oh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
When they teamed up with Madonna, it was Paramount Press Express Yourself.
Oh,
It
nailed
was a
it.
really nice website. It was cool. You got to make it. Anyway, this is so good. Look at these no pop-ups.
Oh, yeah, we love that.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here?
Okay, and
Straight
by the
from the
way,
source.
everybody, by the way, if I remember correctly, our friend Dead Purple 7 just had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to Dead Perp.
Happy birthday, Dead Purple 7.
Happy birthday, the Purple Seven. Happy birthday to you.
Sorry about that, Dead Perp. You did not deserve that. I'm sorry. But we meant nothing but, good tidings to you and yours.
This comes from love.
Exactly.
It does.
Hiding
Okay,
We bring
so
you love.
this article says CBS Studios returns to Comic-Con International with fan favorite Star Trek universe, Ghosts, and new series NCIS Tony and Ziva. What does that mean? It's
That's funny.
Is it like an NCIS sitcom or what is
It's like
going
an NCIS cartoon.
Spin-off. Spin-off.
Tony
Is that
and
another one of those
Ziva.
Is NCIS another one of those shows that has had like a ton of like
Yes.
Law and
Oh,
Order
yeah.
or something? I thought so.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now they
Yeah.
just have like rom-coms going on or something.
Yeah. Is NCIS the one that Scott Bakula's on, or is that a different one?
That was yes, it was like NCIS New Orleans.
Nailed it.
Right.
Nailed it. I didn't know which one. It was
Sandra, Ghost
NCIS.
UK and US or just US? I don't know.
Oh
we
my
just-
gosh,
we just started
Linda
watching Ghost
Anderegg.
UK.
Linda
It's
Anderegg.
so good, but they're both good. But Linder Anderegg said Hugh Jackman is my adult crush.
Yeah, it's legit.
Aw.
Mhm.
Cassandra says Jason Bateman. That's a
Ooh.
charming fellow.
That
He's got
is a
the
charming
charm.
fellow.
He's
Nice
got the charm.
choice. Mm-hmm.
Cassandra also
Yeah.
says Frakes, also a charmer.
Hello.
Also a charmer.
Hello.
I remember the first time he looked at me. I'm like, how did my belt get unbuckled? He's like, it's the twinkle in my eye does it, bro.
Yep.
Stand back if you know what's good for you.
So charming.
It's crazy.
It
Anyway.
is crazy.
So the point is, this website tells us this. Paramount Plus's Star Trek universe returns to Hall H. Isn't that the big one? With exclusive
Yes,
panels,
that is.
first looks, reveals, and surprises on Saturday, July 26th. CBS Ghosts, exclusive panel conversation on Saturday, July 26th. Highly anticipated new Paramount Plus series NCIS Tony and Ziva will treat fans to exclusive first looks, reveals, and panel conversation on Thursday, July
Wow.
24th. Okay.
Tell us more about the Star Trek Universe panel. I bet there's more information farther down.
There
All I
is.
see is Tony and Ziva's
Yeah.
Keep
You
scrolling.
have to
Tony and
scroll
Ziva's
down.
excellent adventure, followed by Tony and Ziva's bogus journey. Everybody,
Yeah. I
Here it is.
argue that Bogus Journey might be better. I really
why?
like
Because
Bogus
it has
Journey.
Sloane in it playing
I
Death.
mean, partly, yeah. But it's just, there's something about it. Hey,
Star-
Star Trek!
Star Trek Universe panel in Hall H. Actually, Keanu Reeves just called when you said that. He said, "Whoa." That's what he said about what you said.
Nice.
Star Trek Universe panel in Hall H. The Star Trek Universe panel returns to San Diego, featuring exclusive back-to-back conversations with the cast and executive producers from the Paramount Plus original Star Trek Strange New Worlds and the upcoming new series Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Okay, that's interesting.
That's awesome.
Plus exclusive first looks, reveals, and surprises moderated by Star Trek legend Robert Picardo. Saturday, July 26th, 12:30 to 2 p.m. Pacific time in Hall H. Do you guys remember when San Diego Comic-Con used to be in mid-July and recently it turned into late July? What's up with that? Pissed me off. Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway.
COVID? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Mm.
And then we've got this. Star Trek Strange New Worlds cast members scheduled to appear include Rebecca Romaine, Ethan Peck, Jess Bush, Christina Chong, and Paul Wesley, alongside executive
Uh-huh.
producers and co-showrunners Akiva Goldsman and Henry Alonzo Myers, and executive producer Alex Kurtzman.
Nice.
Yay!
Lastly, yes.
Yeah. You can keep going. I'm just really excited about who's gonna be there for Starfleet Academy. I'm super excited. Not that I'm gonna be there, but
Star Trek Starfleet
it's
Academy
exciting.
cast members scheduled to appear include Sandra Rosta,
Hey!
Kareem Diane.
Oh!
What's wrong? You hate Sandra Rosta?
You skipped it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Include Holly Hunter, Sandra Rosta, Kareem Diane, Carice Brooks, George Hawkins, and Bella Shepard, along with executive producers and co-showrunners Alex Kurtzman and Noga Landau.
So if you think about it, first looks, reveals, surprises.
I
We're
know
gonna see
it's
some
great first
exciting.
date.
We're gonna see some
Yeah.
Academy stuff. That's really exciting. What?
I heard that.
Wait.
You said first looks, reveals, surprises. I said sounds like a great first date.
Oh,
It was you had to be there. It was very funny 14 seconds ago.
really good.
Now it kind of just seems stupid and immature. Which it is
Fine by
not.
me.
It's not.
It's
What do you-
fun.
What do you think we're gonna see?
To this thing.
Yeah.
Definitely oh wow, the first trailer for Starfleet Academy.
That's what I'm saying,
Oh
man.
yeah, maybe.
Yes.
I thought I said
Yeah. I said
You did. Wait. What?
And then, but what could they'll show something about Strange New Worlds. It'll be like
yeah.
it'll be like a seasonal package that says now streaming,
Yeah.
on Paramount Plus. Because by then, 3 episodes would have already dropped.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But Academy, what we're gonna see? Are
I
we gonna see a
wonder-
ship? Are we gonna see the school?
Yeah.
Are we
I
gonna
wonder
see?
if they're gonna tease a time period in which it will be released.
Yeah, like an actual release date. Can you imagine?
No way.
You
No.
know we're
There's
gonna
not gonna be a release date, but
yeah.
They're gonna
That would
say
be
Sure, we'll
amazing,
get
but-
to see
20
this
it's gonna say
ginormous
20
set that they've been bragging about, right?
I'd like
Yeah.
to see that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
The
gonna say
ginormous set.
coming in 2026.
Mhm.
We're gonna be like, okay.
Are we gonna see?
Well, I
like-
mean, that's better than saying coming in 2027.
Yes.
I'd much
But
rather
it's
them
entire-
say
but however,
2026.
We know that it's possible. We've learned many times now that it's possible that it could say 2026 and it ends up being 2027.
It's
Not
not.
saying
I
it
know.
will. Not saying it's anybody's fault.
So
Just saying like,
annoying.
barring any,
life happens.
pandemics and strikes and
Ugh.
Etc.
world wars,
Yeah.
whatever.
My
Yeah.
heart just collapsed on itself. Um,
Yeah.
But-
So. Go ahead.
so. Well, no. I was just gonna say. I mean, okay, if the idea is to keep people coming back to Paramount Plus, and season 3 of Strange New Worlds is coming up soon here,
Mm-hmm.
I would hope that they would have Starfleet Academy for early 2026, right?
Yeah.
That would be
Because-
great.
Because I mean, season 4 of Strange New Worlds is going to be finishing up here the next little bit, and then you go into post-production. So you hope that you get the two
Summer.
of them leapfrogging. Yeah, hoping that the two of them are leapfrogging at some point.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. That would be great.
So they might also do, though, remember they were going to do like little YouTube cartoons or something?
Yep.
What if they
Oh, that's
premiere
right.
those?
Yeah.
What if they premiere those? That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us something. Give them something to talk about. Who's song? Isn't that a song?
Bonnie
Who
Raitt.
sings
Give
that?
some Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie Raitt. I would have never
Bonnie
gotten
Raitt.
that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad you guys knew it. So we might get that,
Yeah.
and we might get some kind of snippet where they say, "All right, everybody, this one," they turn down the lights, "is audio only." And they hear the first few minutes of the Star
Oh,
Trek Con
Totally.
audio series.
Con.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
And it's got like crazy surround sound of like
Mhm.
explosions and ships, and then God, and then all, oh man, alive. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I want to see
Yeah.
like I want to see a teaser for Academy that's a like the smoky air room and then like the door opens and then either Paul Giamatti walks out in whatever he is. We get a little peek at him, or it's like the doctor, or it's like I don't know. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
hello.
Like things that we know but like don't really know, like enough like some,
Yeah.
not giving us any information, but just like a look at something.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
script.
I would really like to see if there's the aliens that we have.
Mhm.
We're gonna
Yeah.
see in the
Yeah.
show. I wanna
Absolutely.
see the aliens.
Hmm.
Yeah, they might give us that. They
Hmm.
might let us see. I mean, like what Matt said, the set would be really cool, or even just a scene, a moment, something
That
so we
would
can
be
get a
cool.
kind of
Yeah.
feel of something. See the characters. They might also introduce or mention a new cast member,
Mhm.
a new
Oh, that's
character,
true.
because they always
Yeah.
like to kind of take their time with it. Like what
Yeah.
we thought they were going to do with Ash Tyler in Section 31. And we're like, when are they going to announce Ash Tyler already?
Yeah.
I already saw the movie and I'm still waiting for them to announce him. I'm like, so where is he? Is he in the extended? What happened?
Mhm.
The
I know.
appendices?
I'm still
Yeah.
waiting for his because that would make the show good.
Maybe he'll be in Starfleet Academy instead.
Maybe. I would like to
Maybe.
see a a recruitment video for Starfleet Academy.
Oh,
Doesn't even have to
Smart.
have like any of the cast, but just a way to like sort of feature the sets and the vibe.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my god.
That's what I'd do if I was in charge.
Mhm.
Well, that's actually not what I would do if I
Yeah.
was in charge. If I was in charge, I would greenlight Legacy. But anyway.
That sounds like your musical theater song. That's what I would do if I were in charge. That's your musical theater song.
But I'm really excited about Academy. I actually really am.
How excited are
I
you,
am
scale of 1 to
too.
10?
I don't know. I'm pretty excited. It feels, you know, and and I know some stuff.
Who sings Suddenly I See? What's that song? Suddenly I See.
Suddenly I see.
Yeah,
This is how I wanna be.
I know this.
because for a second I thought that was Bonnie
Oh.
Raitt, but I was like, oh no, that was the
No.
other thing
No.
that they said.
It's,
KT Tunstall?
Yes.
Never heard
Yes.
of KT.
Also sings Wild Horse and a Cherry Tree, am I right? Or is that somebody else?
Wait,
Live
how
chat,
does that one go?
scale of 1 to
I
10.
don't
How
know.
excited
I
are
don't
you?
know.
Cassandra's already jumped on it. She gave us an 8 already.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Okay. Matt's looking it up. Here we go. Is there anything more to this? I don't think so. Oh, wait, there's a bit more. There's a bit
no.
more.
Ghost.
I saw the word Star Trek.
Oh, really?
NCIS, Tony and Ziva, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and Star Trek Starfleet Academy will also be featured. Activations, whoa,
Mhm.
at Paramount Plus's
Oh,
The
yeah.
Lodge. They just copied The Lounge.
Yes.
The hit fan experience that transports guests into the worlds of their favorite movies and shows on Paramount Plus. The interactive takeover will be available during Comic-Con at Happy Does. As this is not an official
Yes.
Comic-Con event, no SDCC badge is required.
Yeah, so it's just
So
like there. So what?
that sounds really cool. Wait,
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an
what do they?
article
How do they
right
do
after
that?
this.
So all of the big companies and anybody else who can afford it rent space in local businesses
Mhm.
and take over the downtown outside of San
Yeah, I
Diego Comic-Con,
understand
right?
that.
So it's yeah, they just take over a space and then they're just it's like they turn it into the, the mountain lodge thing, the Paramount Mountain thing. So it's like snowy lodge place and then you go
Okay,
in and
so they
then
do it
there's just
practically.
it's like a little
Because
yeah, oh yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
wondering if it was like one of those like VR walls that you
No,
walk
no,
in,
no,
you're
no,
like, whoa, I'm in this thing now. No, they just actually bring in all the practical stuff and build like a little
yeah.
thing.
Like the year that Picard premiered, they had a sort of Picard museum that people could kind of go through like that was part of it that year. Um yeah, it sort of depends on the year, right? What they do, but
Yeah.
mhm.
There is another article that's included
Aha!
that kind of explains it a little bit more.
At least it knows
Kind
what's
of.
up.
Well,
And
maybe I
it's
should
got
find that
Spock
article.
and SpongeBob as
Oh
the
no,
picture.
again, I can't. I can't live like
Imagination.
this.
I love
I
that.
can't. SpongeBob Square Butt is not. I don't want that in my life.
Who lives in the starship under the sea?
So here it is. This is from Collider.com, written by Ryan O'Rourke.
Hey.
In the run up to San Diego Comic Con later this month, Paramount Plus is preparing fans to nerd out with them through a social media
Oh my
campaign.
God, that's hilarious.
Today marked the launch of the
Yeah.
new Nerd Out social handle across Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. My favorite TikTok is Wintergreen. To
Nice.
connect with fans of Paramount's biggest franchises, from Star
It never
Trek to
gets old.
SpongeBob, these new pages were designed to release exclusive content for fans, celebrating what makes the Media Giants series so beloved. As part of the announcement, Collider can exclusively share that Nerd Out will also be coming to SDCC with a new fandom-centric activation that will give attendees a chance to connect.
Oh,
I
this
was
is
thinking
another one.
to connect directly with these franchises. It'll be located at the Lawn outside the Omni San Diego Hotel, and it won't require a reservation or a badge to get in.
It's kind of the same thing, but
Mhm.
it's the launch of their campaign basically.
Yeah.
Nerd out.
And
Yeah. Nerd out.
Nerd
yeah,
out.
nerd out. Yes, and they have a whole little trailer that goes along with it that where people are nerding out in different fandoms. But I think it's really interesting
Mhm.
that both in the panels and the press release from Paramount and this, Star Trek is the main attraction,
I was having the same thought.
which tells you a lot. Star Trek is
Mhm.
a huge franchise for Paramount Plus,
Mhm.
and that says a lot about the future of Trek, in my opinion.
I think so too. I think so
Yeah,
too.
Star Trek's going places, it sounds like.
You're going places, kid.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in the face of all of the naysayers who are saying Star Trek is dead, Star Trek is dead,
I know.
I don't think it is. I don't think
No.
it is. This is
Mhm.
they're clearly being represented
Yeah.
in Paramount's lineup,
Plans.
like
Yeah.
the top
Well, and
lineup,
yeah, and hopefully it means that they're finally embracing that,
right?
Mhm.
right? Because I mean, if you think about it, I mean, how many times has Star Trek not been on TV? And yet it endures, right? I mean,
Hmm.
we've had
Right.
two big television gaps.
Mhm.
And yet you have such a strong fandom that doesn't let it die. I mean, Star Trek went off the air, we didn't have a movie, and what did they do? They started doing their own fan conventions, creating their own fan related magazines and merchandise, and then when it went off the air again in 2005, what did they start doing? Star Trek fan films. You had people, it just I just think that's, to me, that's one of the coolest things about Star Trek, is that it has such an impact, and it's
Mhm.
nice to see that Paramount is finally like really leaning into that.
Yeah. And it's also nice to see
Mhm.
because San Diego Comic-Con, while it's certainly nerd-centric, it's so much more mainstream. Like that's where just all the
Right.
big entertainment just goes to launch stuff, you know? So
Mhm.
it's not this like niche tucked away, oh, by the way, also Star Trek. It's like, you
Nerd
know,
out.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Nerd
Nerd out.
out.
Hey, chic.
So, okay.
But
It says
yeah.
highlighting series like Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Lower Decks alongside Michael Bay's Transformers.
Hmm.
There's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know. Just like the original Transformers, though, to be honest.
Yeah,
Agree.
obviously.
Agree.
I was so
Anyone,
excited when Transformers was coming out with the
I know.
movie, the Michael Bay. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this is it. And then it just didn't
It
do it. Like,
was it was
it
no.
didn't capture that for me. It just
No.
looked, it was maybe too many people or something, and everything
Too
was all
many
mechanic.
people and too much
I just,
business. There's
yeah,
so much
I
business
didn't care about the
happening.
people. I just want to see a bunch
Yeah.
of Transformers.
Yeah, you
They
want to
have
see them
their own,
transform and roll out.
yeah, they have their own personalities. They're not
Hmm.
like, but they
Yeah.
made them kind of personality-less. And anyway, what do I
They
Mhm.
know?
were they were secondary characters to
Yeah,
Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox.
Yeah.
yeah. And,
Who? I'm just kidding.
Megan Fox is also pretty.
True.
Uh, anyway, yeah, I'm not going to say that. The point is,
You already did.
mm-mm.
You already did.
The
You can
point
type
is,
it.
though, what?
You can type it. Anyway,
Yeah.
the point is though.
The
Was there
point.
anything else on that article that you could summarize for us?
Which
Point
article?
is though. No, but I think that that was kind of the same thing. Oh. um it was kind of the same thing that the Paramount thing was hinting at.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
Anyway,
wonder if they'll
I guess
have a big set like they have in years past for it
Big
hmm,
set. Where?
of what?
at San Diego Comic-Con.
You mean like on stage?
Well, because sometimes you get they'll rent out the site of a building, put a big giant advertisement for it on the
Right.
side of the building, or they'll do something fancy where it's like, oh, you got this little lounge area and everything is Star Trek themed.
Yeah, the lounge area, the lodge.
Right, but
The
like,
lounge,
but
lodge
but is
lounge.
that but is it Star Trek themed or is it Paramount Plus
It's
themed?
Paramount things, but that's what it's been like the last few years, right? They have
I
it's
mean,
Paramount's only got so many advertising dollars they can put towards it, so they're like, we have to do everything, but also Star Trek is there.
Right. Right.
So, which
Yeah.
brings me to my next point and our next article,
Hmm.
because it all ties in, and this is very important here. This is from comicbookmovie.com.
Oh,
Here's why
good.
Marvel Studios, DC Studios, Lucasfilm, and more are skipping this year's San Diego Comic-Con. What? I don't even
What?
want what? What?
Tell us
What?
more.
I don't
I'm very
even.
curious.
It did say and more. So before we even read that, I couldn't help but speculate what the is going on with Comic-Con.
Because
Is
wasn't
it is
like
it
that,
because they don't have enough things to promote, like
well,
Lucasfilm? I mean,
Yes. That's basically what the article says. It's
if you think
but
because they
about
don't
it.
have the material that promote to promote. And last year they were promoting some movies that didn't do nearly as well as they thought it would. It didn't move the needle hardly at all. And the movies that they have coming out aren't blockbuster worthy to put their money into it as far as San Diego Comic-Con is
But I
concerned.
thought Star Wars was coming out with a lot of new content constantly.
Yeah, but if you think right now, not so much. Like
Yeah, it's a lot of
Mandalorian and Grogu
announcements.
is still filming, am I right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So it's not
That's
close to
cute.
being ready to go. And I know, right? What else? Show-wise, do they have anything else in the
Ahsoka,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ahsoka.
But
season
again, it's
2.
like
The
it's like
Acolyte?
things are
Acolyte's done,
Acolyte's
got
done.
canceled.
Yeah.
already?
Acolyte's
many seasons
done.
did they do?
Andor just
One.
finished. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
It-
Skeleton Key? Is there a
I haven't heard if they're doing Skeleton
Yeah.
Crew, if they're doing another season
Right.
of that or not. I mean, they
It's-
certainly opened the door for it, but
Yeah. It feels like a kind of little everybody sort of taking a breath moment.
I think it's everybody's clenching moment.
Well, that, yeah.
to be honest.
I'm just framing it a little more positively, but yeah.
a little less graphically.
Yeah. That's really
Yeah.
interesting. Because I mean,
Yeah.
Fantastic Four is coming out when?
The end of this month.
Right. So
Why wouldn't they
one
promote
would
that?
think that's actually crazy that they're not sort of weird.
Yeah, Fantastic Four is pretty huge. That is a
Yeah.
big.
Mhm.
I mean, is that considered a franchise? I mean,
Yeah, it's part of the Marvel extended
Yeah, Marvel Universe.
right?
But
but
this
is that
is
its
what's going to
own
be cool.
franchise? I don't know.
I mean,
Fantastic
yes.
Four is kind of where it started, right? You know, they're the OGs. So and this is the first time
X-Men.
that we're getting.
Yeah.
This is the first time we're getting.
But yeah.
A Marvel version of Fantastic Four.
Yes,
'Cause
exactly.
The last couple have been Fox led.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like when we had the Incredible Hulk movies.
Yeah.
I didn't see either one of those. There was the Edward Norton one, and what was the other one?
The Ang Lee one with what's his face?
Yeah, I don't know.
The one with the guy
Mark.
with the face. Not Mark Ruffalo, but the other guy.
The guy with the face, of course.
What's his with the brow? He's got a brow.
Eric Bana.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
Bana?
I thought you meant Anthony Davis.
No.
Yeah. Eric
He's a
Bana.
basketball player. They call him the
No,
brow.
not
He
that
looks
guy,
like
though.
he's got-
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is,
Mhm.
I'm concerned about San Diego Comic-Con here. Like, maybe it's all of the studios just happen to coincidentally at the same time all decide not to participate in Comic-Con, and it has nothing to do with Comic-Con itself. But it seems like if they're all doing it, maybe they're seeing diminishing returns. Maybe they promoted the last few years at Comic-Con and the juice ain't worth the squeeze, as the French say with their southern accent. And oh, look, Melissa's coming back, I think.
Hmm.
Anyway, maybe that's
Yeah.
what it is. Maybe they're just like saying, hey, these last few years, or maybe it's strike related or COVID related, they're still recovering from that.
Mhm.
And they're saying, look, it's not beneficial for us to promote these things. We're losing money or just not gaining that much money. And then on top of the fact that they don't have much to promote, they say, okay, well, it's not worth it. But I could be completely wrong. Maybe I'm just bitter about Comic-Con because it's just so crowded. I'm just like,
You just hate it.
just it's just so.
Ryan's just got a personal
do.
grudge against it.
I do. I'm like, how is this pleasant? How is this fun? Oh, it's
Yeah.
a nightmare.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
offense.
I
But
mean, there
there-
are people.
but
Oh,
there-
sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, because as far as DC is concerned, the movies that they put out that they promoted in San Diego Comic Con last year didn't do well because they
Okay.
weren't received well by the fans in the first place. So
Yeah.
it's the quality of the content as well that fans aren't responding to. So
Yeah.
people, yeah. And if they don't feel like that they have a product that is going to do well
Yeah.
overall, I
Yeah.
don't think they think it's worth it to invest in it.
Yeah. And I mean, DC's got Superman opening now or thereabouts.
Right.
Mhm.
I
So,
would think that'd be a
Yeah.
nice thing for them to promote.
but
They'd
it's
be like,
already open,
Right.
right?
Super
Like it's
dog.
just that opening weekend. That's I mean, it's the big numbers all along, but they want that, like,
It's funny though, you would think a summer that has movies like Superman and
yeah.
Fantastic Four
Yeah.
would
Crazy,
be
right?
huge.
Mm-hmm. That's
Mm.
really interesting. So their loss is Star Trek's gain?
Yeah.
Well, that has yet to be seen. We don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe Star Trek is just going to come to the same conclusion that they came to
Mm-hmm.
this year, or maybe Star Trek's going to be like, haha, now all your fans come belong to us today.
You
All
want
your
Hall
fans
H?
belong
We'll
to
give
us.
you Hall H.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe Star Trek's like, fine, you
Mm-hmm.
guys gonna
Hall
be gone. We're gonna be the
H.
belle of the ball, baby.
Right?
You want Superman? That's Chris, what's his name? Not Christopher Pine, but Anson Mount, Captain Pike. You want Fantastic Four? Have you met our new cadets in Starfleet Academy?
Yeah.
You want Star
Yeah.
Wars? The JJ movies are kind of like that. You should enjoy those.
Exactly.
Maybe that's what they'll do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's
Mhm.
really interesting.
It's
But I
very
do
interesting.
wonder if maybe there's
Mm.
something going on there.
Sure.
I would
Absolutely.
love to know from the live chat if they've been hearing anything about. I mean, is it possible that San Diego Comic-Con's going to start slowing down? Because I feel like it's just been growing forever.
That
I just think
don't
it's
seems.
know.
related to the people. Yeah, not to the people. Although I've never been, so I
Mhm.
never got jammed in
I
one of those
have.
hallways. But I just have to wonder, like you said, if it's just the quality of what we've been getting. Right? There's not as much excitement for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been to Comic-Con twice. Jenny, you went, right?
No, my stuff went.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Melissa, you've been, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I went once
Yeah,
to
with Theron and
promote.
Sirach, right?
Yeah, that was so
The
much
good old days.
fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they both were surprised when somebody stopped them outside of one of the hotels, and they're like, "Oh, it's Jake and Nog back
No
together."
way.
That's so
Cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was so random, but it was so awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was a fun experience.
In a
Mhm.
lot of ways, that seventh rule, or what that Comic-Con was where the seventh rule was born.
Mm-hmm. That's
Kind
pretty
of.
cool.
It was a
'Cause
little bit after.
but that, they got along, they had fun, they
Mm.
reconnected, they kind of
Oh my gosh.
things kind of started there,
Yeah,
I
it was
think.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a
Anyway,
great car ride to
That's
and from.
awesome.
It was just the conversation in that car was phenomenal. I will never, ever, ever
mhm.
forget it.
And what did you think of Comic-Con itself?
Um, I was not a huge fan,
Yeah.
honestly. Um, just because there's a lot of people there. It wasn't the thing about that and this is going to make me sound very biased, and maybe I am. But the thing I love about STLV is that it's large enough.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people there and it's crowded and all of that stuff, but it's not like San Diego Comic-Con where it it's STLV still feels personal.
Yeah.
Whereas San Diego Comic-Con, it's yeah, no. It's
Mhm.
not personal at all. There's
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody in the live chat was mentioning D23 that like Disney has its own event thing now, and if you think about it, like Star Wars has
Good
its own
point.
thing,
Yes.
and they're sort of creating these events like STLV, only,
Mhm.
but as a way to focus on the one thing. So maybe part of it is that they're trying to save their promotion and their,
Maybe.
That's a
for
good act.
Possibly.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
possibly.
I was just gonna say, I actually thought it was a couple of years ago, I think now. I felt like we got more content out of New York
Yes.
Comic-Con than we did San Diego because
Yeah.
And the
I mean,
one in
That's happened the
Brazil.
last couple of years too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the one in Brazil
Right.
too. Yeah,
Yep.
because I remember
Yeah.
I obviously not having gone to actual San Diego Comic-Con. I just remember
Mhm.
being anxious for the panels to be put up on YouTube
Yeah.
and to be able to watch those and the trailers, and then there was that one, it was like 2 years ago or whatever, and I was
Mhm.
like, that's all we got. And then we
Yeah.
started getting really
Yeah.
cool, like the Star Trek stuff. The
Yeah.
really cool stuff ended up coming out of the New York Comic-Con versus San Diego.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So what
Yeah.
about though if it's kind of like with the cable bundles? Before it was like
Mm.
everybody's going into, fighting over a channel or this or that, but then Disney was like, well, we'll just make our own app.
Yeah.
And we have all of
Right.
our stuff on our own app, so
Yep.
we don't have to fight
Mm-hmm.
anything. We have our own. And, what about if, like you guys are saying, maybe that's kind of what they're saving, the D23, I don't remember what the Star Wars one is called.
Star Wars
Some
Celebration.
Yeah, that's it.
Star Wars Celebration.
Oh.
See, Star Trek needs one of those. They kind of have one in
Star
Vegas,
Trek Day.
But it's
but
not.
but it's not official.
Yeah.
So
Official.
that you don't
Yeah.
have like the suits showing up and saying,
Mhm.
now here is
Right.
our announcement. Pull
Yeah.
back the curtain, Sally.
Yeah.
Right.
So they don't have that. So there really isn't one for Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But what is Star Trek Day? For a while there, it seemed like they did
What
put
is
on
Star
this.
Trek Day?
No, you're
Yeah.
right, Melissa.
Yeah,
It was.
absolutely.
I mean, the first time they did it, it was very a big thing, and they kind of had some really fancy stuff. And
It's
then
amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
the second year, it was not quite as fancy, and then third year, it was just like, hey, go watch your favorite Star Trek show. Here's a couple articles on StarTrek.com.
Right. But the Star
Yeah.
Trek Day, the 2 or 3 times they did it
Mm-hmm.
were so good.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember
you're right.
Sirach
That
gave
that
a
was their
talk.
version of that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And I think that maybe the past Star Trek Day, well, the most recent one, had suffered from the uncertainty with the merger and all of that's
Yeah.
going on with that. So
It's kind of like a lot of
Mhm.
things happen like that, where it's like you start something big,
Mm-hmm.
and then next year you keep doing it big, and and eventually you go, anyway, so discuss amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
You guys get the gist. You
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
keep it going. I'm not speaking from personal experience at all, but what I'm saying is, sometimes they might be like, so anyway, you guys
Yeah.
keep it going.
Mhm.
You got this. Anyway,
Yeah.
so the live chat, what's up, Anansi the Spider? Uh, Chuck A says, agreed, Melissa Longo about STLV. I used to see you and Aaron there. Well, you'll still see Melissa there this year, Chuck A.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be nice. Nice reunion there because we missed him last year.
We
Mhm.
did miss Chuck.
That's right.
Yeah.
because it wasn't Chuck had just recently had a surgery that prevented
Yeah.
him from going, right?
Yeah, we're very happy that he
Mhm.
seems to be healing
Yeah.
well enough to come play with us this year. That's
Yeah.
going to be really great. Lucia Ross says the one in Brazil is huge. Yeah, I don't remember what it's
Mm-hmm.
called, but they're always like,
Yeah.
in this big convention in Brazil, they made all these announcements. We're like, what? What do you mean? Why? How did this happen? Brazil? That's just kind of like how like all the biggest information about Star Trek comes out of like Cosmo magazine, or which one is it? It's something like that. Revlon magazine. What's the magazine that
Variety?
Variety? Thanks. I don't know. It's something. I don't know.
Red
Revlon.
Blonde magazine.
I don't know. It's
Maybe
something that I don't
Maybelline.
associate.
It's
Something
great.
that does not feel like it's connected in any way to the entertainment business. But maybe I guess I'm
Variety?
wrong. I don't know. I don't know
Oh,
Variety
stuff.
is literally, that's like what it is.
I thought it was a
It is
variety of
variety.
things.
No, it's literally like the
Like
magazine
gardens and
about
insects.
no,
Boating.
no, it's
No.
variety as in like variety show, as in entertainment, literally the
Cooking
magazine for
instructions
Hollywood.
for oatmeal.
It's
Oh my
been
God.
around forever. But Lucia Raz said
Cosmo.
CCXP is what the
That's the
Ah,
one, right? The
yes.
communist one.
yeah.
No, that's CCCP. I'm just kidding.
Mhm.
Anyway, isn't that what it was? CCCP, I thought. Am I wrong?
The Soviet Union?
No,
Yeah.
no. Wait, the Chinese?
Cracks me up.
Oh, maybe that's I can't keep up with things. I know like
The
four things.
CCCP was the Soviet Union at one point.
Okay.
Yeah, CCCP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Christian gets it. The way his last name is spelled, or the way his name is spelled, he lives pretty close to that region of the world. That's why he thinks it's funny.
It's hilarious anyway.
Anyway, sorry, KGB. You know I love you. Okay. You always have to have a disclaimer or the KGB will get you. I used to have a shirt that says KGB still watching you.
Nice.
I don't know what happened to it. I think they took it from me. They're like, we're not a laughing matter, punk.
Stole
gonna
it from
take
you while
your
you were
shirt.
sleeping.
Anyway. All right, back to work,
Oh my
everybody.
Back
gosh.
to work.
Yeah. Okay, so
Oh, that is fun.
oh, this is great news, you guys. This is great
What?
news, and it's delivered to us by our good friend John Orchiola, who is back of the head.
Yes.
This
Mhm.
is from screenrant.com.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
Such good news.
Oh, here
Tell
it is.
us.
I mean, I could tell
What
you
is
or I
it?
could show you.
You could show us. Who,
Is that the Who that
Yeah.
does that song?
It is in
Yeah.
fact the Who.
So funny.
are you?
Every once in a while, there's like a band that sings a song that's like their name, like Black Sabbath, and they have a song called Black Sabbath. They also have a Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. But yeah, the Who's sing the Who Are You song, and they
Yeah.
probably have a lot of Doctor Who fans. A fan favorite Star Trek series is climbing the streaming charts for a very specific reason. What is that
Ooh.
reason, Melissa?
Because the premiere of season 3 of Strange New Worlds is coming up on July 17th. Woohoo! First 2 episodes. Woohoo!
Oh, right,
And-
the two. I forgot.
Yeah, and Amazon Prime is offering the first season for viewers for free.
Oh.
You don't have to pay an extra charge at the moment to watch the first season on.
Oh, really? Paramount Plus? Probably. So here's the thing with that is it's climbing up the charts because people are now rewatching the episodes
Mm.
to get
I was one of
ready.
those.
That's really cool. I know Melissa did it too. You did it, Matt?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's
fun.
really cool.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And the interesting about the
You're
interesting
still
about
froze. There you go.
Oh, there she is.
the interesting thing about this list, I think that the that Star Trek Strange New Worlds is the only show that isn't brand new on this list.
Ooh, we love
Yeah.
that. That's
So
awesome.
this is rewatches, and the
Mhm.
rewatches are bringing it to the top 10, which is pretty
That's
fantastic.
amazing.
That
That's really
really
cool.
is.
It's
Wow.
actually big news.
Yeah.
So, Matt, let me ask you this. Upon your rewatch of Strange New Worlds, what did you notice or appreciate that maybe you missed or didn't the first time?
I, the writing. I mean, obviously, when you watch something the first time through, there's just so much to take in, right?
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like everything's coming at you. But the thing that I really enjoyed about it the second time through is the richness of the stories in each episode.
Hmm.
There is it feels, it reminds me of how we used to get Star Trek, right? Versus trying
Mm.
to, and I don't want to dog the Discovery team,
Don't dog.
but I just think what's so great about making they've once again returned to that formula of we have individual episodes that wrap up by the end, but there are elements and threads that carry throughout the season, right? And so I'm always surprised by the fact that it's like, there's certain things that I think that happen later on, but they happen earlier. And so it's like you get this fantastic, um, it just feels like there's a lot more content in the way that they write it than it feels longer than 10 episodes, right? It's only 10
Hmm.
episodes, but it feels like maybe we're getting a little bit more in the way that their
That's cool.
effectiveness in the way they tell these stories.
Hmm.
Yeah. Matt, what you're saying is very true about how even though it's episodic, there are threads that
Hmm.
pass
Right.
through from episode to episode. I like to look at it as it is the exterior conflict is episodic, the interior conflict is
Right.
serialized,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
When the Gorn attack or the spaceship
Mm-hmm.
malfunctions,
Hmm.
that's concluded by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But the
Mm-hmm.
character arcs continue. Like you can't
Right.
watch season 2, episode 9, and then tomorrow watch season 1, episode 3, and have the same character. You could
Right.
do that in Next Generation. You could watch the 110th episode, and tomorrow you could watch the 48th episode and be like, it's
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
same crew, same thing. No
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wesley, but
Yeah.
other than that,
Yeah, but it's very much in the style more so than the others that Deep
yeah,
Space
it's
Nine did
great.
it because
Yes.
they had the episodic,
Mm.
but there was that continuous through line throughout.
Yeah.
And I think that marriage works because you get the character development and the relationship development.
Hmm.
I feel like Strange New Worlds, we're actually seeing a crew that interacts with each other and works with each other on a daily basis.
Hmm.
Feels like even though there are fewer episodes, we kind of get the day-to-day in there, which is
Yeah.
so important for Star Trek because you want to connect to the characters that you're watching.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point? We don't want to invest in these people if we don't know
Yeah.
who they are, really.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really good point. Definitely.
Hmm.
Because they do feel like they know each other,
Mhm.
that it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Which
the
is
truth
actually, oh,
is,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, look, we love the stories, we
Hmm.
love the
Mhm.
spaceships and the aliens, but the truth is, what people really cling on to are the characters. That's what
Right.
people
Yeah.
talk about if you listen to any Star Trek conversation, 9 out of 10 times, it's about characters. It's about
Right.
Jadzia, Dax, and Worf. It's
Hmm.
about
Right.
Mortegas. It's about Captain Kirk and the Gorm, but it's never or very rarely about, like, no, actually I shouldn't even say that because they do talk about nacelles. They'll talk about nacelles,
Yeah, it's
they'll talk about
true.
Oh
Jeffrey's
yeah.
tubes, but it is
But
predominantly about
Yeah.
characters. That's what we get stuck on.
But the thing with the nacelles and the Jeffrey tubes and all of that is that the Enterprise itself is a
Is a
character
character.
as
Yes.
well,
Yes.
because we're there, all of our characters, smaller people, little characters
Yeah.
size compared to the Enterprise are existing inside our big character,
Yeah.
the Enterprise.
Hmm.
And that was true with
Exactly.
Deep Space Nine too. Deep
Yeah.
Space Nine, the station, was a character as well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as was the Defiant.
Hmm.
Well, it's like, do you remember the episode where they come back from being on Earth and Jake and Cisco pauses and he says, "Huh, I wonder when started considering this place home."
Yeah.
Right? And Jake
Right.
is like, "It was about the time that you pulled out the masks there and hung them on the wall, right?"
Hmm.
Um, and I that's the thing that I love about these shows is that yes, we do absolutely, we love the characters and everything like that, but the starships also become like home. I've heard Melissa
Hmm.
say, I would love to live on Deep Space Nine,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Because
Oh yeah.
and because those places, it becomes that familiar place that we get to
Yeah.
see these characters that are our friends, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we see them at home there, so it makes us feel at home there.
That's kind of a
Right.
You
tough
know?
choice. Where would I rather live? Deep Space Nine or the Enterprise D?
Oh,
Because the
I
Enterprise D, it feels so nice. The thought of walking through the corridors
yeah.
with those bright lights and the blues and that calming sound of
Carpet.
the hum of the ship, you know?
Hmm.
Oh man, I mean, Deep Space Nine is way bigger.
Hmm.
It might be more fun and a lot more exciting, but I feel like the Enterprise D would be like,
Yeah.
you're just kind of,
But see, I want to live on both. So why can't we do like a bi-shipple thing?
Hmm.
Wow. So, so I live part-time on the Enterprise and live part-time on Deep
Hmm.
Space Nine. Or, just kind of go and live on each for a while.
Yeah.
I kind of think of Deep Space Nine. It's like going to STLV.
Oh,
totally.
Hmm.
okay.
You just go and
I don't
live
know.
there for a
I get
little
warm fuzzies
while.
when I'm sorry. I'm exposing myself here. um,
Oh,
Oh
Matt, you're gonna get us
my.
kicked off of
goodness.
YouTube.
Demonetized.
Wow.
well then, our numbers just shot through the roof. You're welcome.
It's funny.
But tell us more. How
Well,
much you love STLV?
I get warm fuzzies when I think about Deep Space Nine. Well, I do. When I think about Deep Space Nine, but I also do when I think about STLV because it's a place that I can go to and there are friends there
Hmm.
and there's Star Trek there and there's the amazing moments of getting to sit down in the halls and listen to the actors talk, right?
Hmm.
To talk about something that's fun. I don't know, it just feels like
And the
family. And
carpet.
that's right, and there's
And the
carpet.
carpet.
But
Hmm.
that's the
Yeah.
feeling I get when I watch Deep Space Nine, and one of the reasons I love watching Deep Space Nine so much is because
Hmm.
I don't know
Hmm.
these people, but their stories make me feel like they're part of my family.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you
Yeah.
for your exposing yourself, Matt. That was very nice. I liked it.
Hmm.
Exposing myself. I'm going
Yeah.
to expose myself and say that I would also like to live a little bit on the Cerritos. Just for
Mm.
a little while on the
Nice.
Cerritos. And then
Hmm.
maybe
That
stay.
ship has no chill, man. Count me out. I'd be like, it's too noisy. Don't you guys ever let people work around here? Why are there
I want
monsters in my quarters
I
again?
want to go visit Cetacean Ops though.
Hmm.
Yeah, those guys are
Yeah.
zany. All right.
Just for a visit.
Hmm.
So, well, that's also an interesting thought is, okay, Star Trek is going to be promoting a whole bunch of stuff at the end
Hmm.
of at the end of the month at Comic-Con. But there's going to be a gigantic Star Trek celebration, of course, like a week or two later in Vegas, like Matt just mentioned.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about that probably every week until it happens. And then I'm sure the week after it happens, we won't talk about it anymore. We'll just like, we'll come back from Vegas and we'll be like, so what do you guys want to talk about?
Mhm.
No, we'll probably accidentally talk about that again too. But there may be big announcements there. There may be big things going on there, right,
That would be
Melissa? It's
cool.
possible.
That would be cool. Yeah. Sometimes I glance at the chat, the Zoom chat.
Good.
But no, that would be yeah, that would be
Yeah.
great. Big announcements.
That'd be cool.
Okay, this is from
Yeah.
Instagram.com,
Ooh.
the IG,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Instagram.
Jordan Canning posts
Yes.
halfway through our episode.
Oh.
What is this?
Ooh.
Episode 405. So once they're done with this episode, they'll be halfway done with season 4. Wait a second.
4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
What?
don't they do 2 weeks per episode?
Which means, or maybe they're filming episodes simultaneously. I
Or out
don't
of
know.
order because
Or maybe this
Or
isn't
out of
necessarily from
order.
today.
Right. Oh, what? Well,
No, it's
she posted
yesterday.
it.
No, but I mean
That's
yeah.
It says
Wasn't it-
halfway through our episode.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm just doing the math.
right.
And if we had initially figured they were done filming towards the end of July,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and let's say this episode is done at the end of this week, then you have 5 more to go. That's 10 more
Mhm.
weeks. They've got to be shooting out of order because otherwise 10 more weeks, we're talking about the end of September or middle of
There's-
September. That would be a
It's
very
not.
sad story
That
for
ain't
us.
it. That ain't it.
You tell them that, Jenny.
That's not it.
Go
That's
knock
not
on the studio.
I will. I will.
That ain't it.
Does he?
What? Are you muted? You're muted.
Man, that was too bad. It was very funny what I said. Oh boy, you should have been there. Okay, so that's cool though. We do love Jordan Canning. Jordan Canning's pretty awesome. She was on the 7th Rule and she's wonderful. Oh wait,
Mm-hmm.
it does
Isn't there a
say,
date on it?
yeah, it says June 26th, 2025.
Okay, so that was a few weeks ago.
But that's still only like a couple weeks ago. So that would mean that they'd be done at the beginning of September.
But
So this has got to be an
I don't
old
know.
picture or something. There's this. I'm
Right.
very confused by this. Yeah, what am I thinking? I was going to look at the comments for the answers. That'll never give you the answers. Comments will never help, but they will make you laugh sometimes.
I don't
Exactly.
like that the way they wrote that number on that clipboard.
Okay.
Not our comment section. They're
Oh.
not that trivial.
Exactly.
No way. They're wondrous. But
They
TrekMovie.com,
are
oh, their
wondrous.
comment section's a lot of fun. Star Trek Online releases Timeless Legacy Starship Bundle. Wow, look at this one with the 4 nacelles. Look at that.
Ding.
Ow!
That's pretty cool.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool.
Those are just gorgeous. Matt, when you see that, do you like fall in love with them a little bit? Do you recognize them immediately and you're like, oh, that's this one and that's this one?
Actually, this one was new to me. Someone sent me they did a release
Which one?
teaser for those.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
they
I was-
did.
Which was
Oh, too
it
bad
was
we
a lot of
can't
fun.
show it or they'll get mad. Oh my God, they're gorgeous. I'll show you guys. Maybe I can show like just a shot of it, right?
Yeah.
Shots.
Look at that.
Ooh.
Yeah, see, it's just cool.
Yeah,
It's
that's awesome.
very cool.
Gorgeous. My goodness.
Yeah.
Ow.
Oh, the vibes are like vibing.
Yeah.
Ooh, we like
Yeah, you
vibes.
start to
Man.
you play with them enough and you start to appreciate that they that they have good design lines and good angles in which to position the ships so that artistically
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be very careful with my words here as I started off at 5 feet behind.
Sorry, I'm a child. My brain is going to bad places.
I'm confused.
Look at this one. My
Sorry.
goodness.
That one is so pretty.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Wow.
That is cool.
These are unbelievable.
Wow.
You know who I bet you is loving this?
It's got
Robert
boobies.
Kaiser out in Austria. I bet you he's like, I love
Ooh.
these ships. He seems like a ship guy.
Mm.
Hmm.
If somebody ever says, you don't know ship, he's like, yes, I do.
Oh.
Is this well actually I have a slideshow to show you about how much I love.
Mm.
Wow. What's going on here?
That's a lot of happening going on.
That's a
there.
lot of happening there.
That
That's a
backside's got a
lot
lot
of
going
happening
on.
there.
He's got some junk in the trunk going on.
Yeah,
Do have some
that's
junk in the
Bounce, chicka,
trunk.
bounce,
There's a lot of
bounce.
thrust in that back. Anyway, it's true. I bet you could say anything about like ships in a positive way,
Yep.
and it would sound pretty zany.
It puts,
You
yes.
could indeed.
Okay. So, anyway,
I don't know
Robert
what.
Kaiser says it's a total ship show.
Hey.
Hello.
Um,
That aft
I
though.
That aft though. That's cool. So what else was
wow.
there on this, Melissa? Was there more to this story here?
Just that the there's this bundle is are from ships from TOS and the motion picture era.
Mhm. That's
Oh,
awesome.
here they are. It includes the following ships and variants: the USS Okinawa. The base version is modeled from the classic Star Trek game Star Trek Starfleet Command. Wow, that's cool. New
Mm.
new
cool,
variants
yeah.
include the TOS era variant, featured in an IDW Star Trek comic, the TMP era variant, and the STO era variant. Also, they have the USS Proxima. Proxima. Also available to purchase separately. The base version is modeled from the Star Trek game Star Trek Legacy. New variants
Oh,
include the TOS era variant, TMP era variant, and STO era variant. And the last one is Ranger Temporal Battle Cruiser, originally from
Ooh.
the Star Trek Online 2016 expansion, Agents of Yesterday. New variants include TMP era variant and STO era variant, as well as a remaster of the TOS era variant. This is the nerdiest thing I've ever said in 1 minute. Whew.
Nerd out.
That was
Woo!
1
nerd
minute of
out.
nerditude.
Nerditude.
Nerditude. Oh,
Look
cool.
at
Look at that.
these.
They're
That's neat.
so
That's very
cool
cool.
looking though.
Yeah, that's
The
awesome.
Warden
The Warden.
I like the
and the
Okinawa. That's really
Pollux.
cool.
Mm.
Oh, yeah,
All right,
the
live chat, tell us right now, which of these is your favorite ship?
I like the Alameda because that's where the nuclear vessels are.
Alameda.
Alameda, yeah.
That's what I said.
That's where our friend
Nuclear
Bill Victor
whistles.
Arukin lives.
Ah,
Oh.
that's cool.
It's a little island just in the bay, the San Francisco Bay, right next to Oakland.
Oh.
Mm.
I would say I love these colors though. This looks very transformery.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, like
Mm.
Autobots, these two. But I would, oh man, all of these are so cool.
The Proxima is the one with all the
Doodads.
Proxima. Yeah, it's all the one with the junk in the trunk. Trunk junk, one might say.
Matt, you're an expert in this kind of stuff. Which is your favorite?
Oh man, I mean they're all fun. I really like the clean lines of the Okinawa, and that's also that that teal or not the motion picture era type. But I like the Warden. I think that's I like that the nacelle arrangement there. The Pollux is fun too. I don't know, they're all just a lot of fun. But I would say probably Warden and the Okinawa are my two that I'm digging here.
I'm feeling very close to that as well.
I like
Can't
the
help but look at the
Ranger.
Proxima. Oh, the little rascal.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
like
I
it.
was
Yeah.
looking
It's
at that
scrappy.
one
Small but
too.
mighty.
You know?
Small but mighty.
Yeah. It looks like it's like, yeah.
Angry?
No, like fun. Yeah,
Oh.
scrappy.
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 Ranger
I
2.
hated Scrappy
Scrappy.
Doo.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying he's Scrappy
Yeah, I
Doo.
did
I'm saying he's
too.
scrappy. Scrappy Doo
He
gave
was-
Scrappy a bad name.
So Joshua Reeves says
Yeah.
Warden. Christian says Warden. Herbert Turner says Okinawa. John Davis says Okinawa. Wow, they seem to be kind of agreeing there.
Yeah.
Let's see if we have any Rangers. Rangers is one of the team names that is shared by two different cities or places from two different North American major league sports. You have the hockey New York Rangers and you have the baseball Texas Rangers. Also fun ones are the Panthers of Florida and Carolina. You also have the Giants of New York and San Francisco. You have the Cardinals of Arizona and St. Louis. I know there are a few more. What do we got?
Well, we have two different colored socks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. I would hate if my team was called the Sox. The pink socks.
Don't go to
or-
Boston and say that.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm just saying how I would feel. I'm
I
not saying
know.
they should feel that
I
way.
know.
They should feel really cool with a pair of socks on their shirt.
They
I
should.
think that's really cool.
I was there living in New York during the one of the Subway series, and that was pretty fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
After the Sox lost.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Hey.
Yeah, anyway. So any final thoughts on the ships or no?
Fun.
Ships, good.
That's fun
We
bundle.
love ships.
Go get it.
Fun
Even if you're
bundle
not going to
ships.
fly them, Robert Kaiser. I saw that.
Yes.
I saw that.
Exactly. Yes.
Collect them
Okay.
all.
Moving on then. Up next. Oh man, we're almost out of time. So
We gotta
real
see the
quick.
corn.
The who?
The corn.
Oh, the Gorn. The
Gorn.
Gorn.
Okay, so up next. Oh yeah, you're right. Very good. Oh, also the Kings, basketball Sacramento Kings and hockey's LA Kings. I feel like there's one more. Anyway, so we've got this article from Trek Core. Here it is. Oh, the Jets, the Winnipeg Jets. It's all hockey teams. The Winnipeg Jets and the New York Jets of football. I think that might be all of them. If I missed any, let us know in the chat. And no, the Atlanta Hawks of basketball and the football Seahawks does not count because that's different names. And no, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are called the Bucks, does not work with the Milwaukee Bucks of basketball because they're spelled differently and one is an abbreviation of the other.
Jenny's eyeballs.
The Tampa Bay Bucks are BUCS.
You know it's like
Milwaukee's
10:30 here, right?
BUCKS. Okay. X06 brings the Gorn to life with new Star Trek The Original Series 1/6 scale action figure. Oh my goodness.
They're
Is this the real
killing
deal?
it.
That's
X06
pretty
are
cool.
killing it.
I want to see pictures of
They're
them.
so good at it.
I guess
Scroll
this is them.
down.
Okay. I mean, it just looks so good that I wasn't sure if it was an artist
Mm.
rendering or if it was actually the figure, but it's the actual figure. It looks great. Here it is. Wow.
Oh.
It's so cool.
Mhm.
How detailed that is.
Yeah.
Wait, 1/6 scale. So
know.
this thing's like over a foot tall then.
What?
Oh, he's even got the wrinkly arm in
That's
the suit.
amazing.
Oh,
That's
what detail. The
great.
suit. Oh, that's
Oh,
hilarious.
Wow.
That's great. How cool is
Oh, it's
that?
because it's it's because it can move.
Uh-huh. That's cool.
That's some really fantastic pictures of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at that.
Great lighting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. They are like, look at it.
That's amazing.
That's so cool.
They
Look at
are
the stitching. You can see the stitching on the
Yeah.
collar and the
Yeah.
It's so good.
Wow.
they are so good at this and they're getting better.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did you see the wharf?
I think so.
There's a wharf. There's like a
We saw-
Picard wharf and it's absolutely bonkers.
The hands
Wow.
are so cool.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And you can switch them out. There's
Yeah.
several different hands.
Yeah, that is like
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous.
phenomenal.
That is good work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really good work. I'm checking
It's
out their
good
comment section. TG1701 says they will always look like a big lizard in a dress.
I mean,
Okay.
gotta love the comments.
And the other one says Star Trek New Voyages says this looks so realistic. This is one great example of what I would expect an alien life form to look like. I can't believe Kurtzman and company felt the need to. Okay, I was like, see, one negative one and one positive one, and I'm like, oh no,
and
actually,
then it
no.
quickly descended into
It was a
madness.
They
bait and
can't
switch. You got me.
help.
You got me, Star Trek New
Come
Voyages.
on, people.
Can't we all just have a nice time?
Oh yeah, eventually. All right, well, let's talk about the week ahead, everybody. So yesterday, first, on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel, we released our full review of Star Trek The Next Generation episode I, Borg,
Yes.
with Jonathan Del Arco. That's Hugh. I always thought that Hugh is like the worst name to have if you're meeting somebody in a loud place. Hi, what's your name? What? What's your name? Hugh.
Yeah.
You? Me? Oh, Hugh. My name is Hugh. Like it doesn't have like a consonant.
Yeah.
I feel like
You're
that's a
right.
tough one. Yeah, thanks.
I did that in an audition once. I was a teenager and hadn't read that name before. He'd heard it, but not read it.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh, Hugh. Hugh. Yeah, how are you doing?
Oh
It's funny. They say, why don't you just say Hugh?
No, they didn't say anything, but I was still cast.
Well, that's good.
So they
That's
liked it.
good.
It was a comedy.
They're like,
Great.
she's really good. She can't read, but she's really good.
She'll fit right in.
Yeah.
Okay. And then let's talk about coming up on Thursday, Strange New Worlds review starting next week. Next week, we're going to say that and we're going to mean it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's going to happen.
That's crazy.
Wow, it's that close. Literally 2 Star Trek Strange New Worlds episodes dropping next week. And that same day, 2 Seventh Rule reviews of those 2 episodes dropping that same day.
Wow.
It's literally next week. We're 9 days away, guys. We've done it.
Mhm.
We finally did it, you guys. Anything can happen.
Oh.
Anything's possible.
This is
We're the
crazy.
greatest. Okay. And then on Sunday, this coming Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, the seventh rule is cooking up something special for you. So tune in there. It's not tuna casserole.
Thank goodness.
I know that sounds gross, to be honest.
Blep.
It does.
Anyway, so check that out. That's at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern Time on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel. Then at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel, we will be releasing our full review of a very memorable episode, in my opinion, The Next Phase. It's a good one.
It
Just
is a good one.
so good. I love it.
Should we answer the call right now? Let's see what. Nah, that's messed up. But I would hate because I just thought I was like, that would be fun for everybody, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you're calling somebody and they're like, hello, hey, you're live on my show. And then you're like, oh,
Right?
so do I have to say something funny, or I just was calling to say you left your garage door open or something?
Exactly.
That's funny too. Anyway, all right. So shout out to Dr. Anne Marie Siegel. I'll call her back and let everybody know what it was about. And that's it for that, everybody. Melissa, can you tell everybody where they can find you online, please?
Yes, at walkingartmadebymelissa.com. Woohoo! Go look through my wares and other things. And also you can sign up for my Zumba classes. Woohoo, woo, woo. And full schedule is online there. So yeah.
Yay!
Yay!
What about you, Jenny?
Well, you can find me through my website, jennyrjohnson.com, where you can check out my shop, sign up for my newsletter. I didn't send one out last month. Oops, but I will this month. Also, you can shop. Right, you can go over to my social media. Yeah, we love social media. Whole buddy. You can find me on social media at Jenny R. Johnson Art on Facebook and Threads and Instagram and TikTok and Blue Sky. Yeah. So many. Hey, Matt
So
Boardman,
many.
where can we find you?
You can find me on Deep Space Nine. I mean, wait, no, here on the main viewer on Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
And then, check out my ArtStation page where you can see some, I like to think, cool
What's the
Starship art.
address of your ArtStation page? Can you tell us?
Let's see. It's artstation.com/?X. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know it.
So just go Matt
Yeah.
Boardman, ArtStation, Google, go.
I know,
Right?
I wish they had a
Gotcha.
better way to do that, to share that.
I
But also
mean,
check
it's
out my,
cool. No problem.
yeah, there's some fun stuff there. Then, maybe check
Nice.
out my YouTube channel. I got like 5 videos up there. Oh gosh, I gotta put more.
Nice.
Anyway, working on some other fun Star Trek art, so stay tuned.
Everybody, you're not going to believe this.
What?
Anne Marie says she was hanging out with somebody else that's missing from the live chat right now, Draco Rex.
Hey!
Marina
Oh,
Kravchuk. They were partying for like hours today,
Nice.
apparently. I'm like, you guys should be in the live chat partying with us.
Right?
But anyway, all good news there. And they say hello, I bet, maybe. And everybody, you can find me online at Ryan TG Husk. Once again, that's at Ryan TG Husk, or just Virtual Trek Con, The Seventh Rule, or Falling Tower on your favorite social media, but especially right here on YouTube with my mechanical pencil. I hadn't had one of these in like feels like 10 or 20 years, but then I needed one recently for work, and I was like, okay, well now I have a pack of like 6 mechanical pencils that are going to last me forever. Anyway, it's, that's what happens.
It's a problem, but also not. Maybe it's an opportunity.
Okay. Thank you to Amanda Stevenson. Hi and goodbye. Chuck A, John Davis, Bob D, Joshua Reeve, Linda, and Reg. Walter, what's up? Lucia, thank you. Christian, nice partying with you. Christian knows about the CCCP. And
Hmm.
so does Austrian Robert Kaiser. They're like, you down with CCCP? And I'm like, you know me. Yeah, you know me. May Borello out in the May area. You see, Jenny, there was a song called OPP back in
Yeah,
the
I know.
90s.
I know. It was
Very
there.
funny song. A funny song.
Funny
And thanks
song.
to Domestic. Good to see you back, Domestic. Hello. Chris Marshall and everybody else. It's been a fun time. We appreciate you hanging out and partying with us. Sorry that we talked so much about VHS tapes and Transformers, but you some of you may have enjoyed it because we like going down memory lane.
We
We'll see you
do.
next time, right?
Yeah.
And hey, when you guys want to talk jive about San Diego Comic Con, put it on the main viewer.